Hey guys, how's it going? This is Chappie here at Intense, and for today's edition of Tech Tutorial Videos, we're going to go over how to use the included tools with your Tazer MX Expert and Pro. There's a couple different things in here. So we're going to have our torque wrench, which you see here. We're going to have a three-way in an L T25, so your three-way will actually be black in color, so that'll be a 4mm, a 5mm, and a 6mm. You have your T25 L, and then you'll have your Intense branded shock pump. So with these four items, we'll be able to address pretty much everything on the bike, certainly through assembly and through most general maintenance. So let's take a look at our torque wrench. We have an array of Allen bits, torque bits, and then also some Phillips and flat options as well. Our Intense branded torque wrench covers a range from 2 Newton meters to 15 Newton meters. However, we've tested it to go to 17 Newton meters accurately. So with that array, it definitely gives us more than enough adjustment to address every component that we are using for assembly and most general maintenance here. And that's simply done by pulling this silver collar down, and then rotating our handle or the top of the wrench like so. So with that, we just make sure that when we stop rotating our torque wrench that this collar is locked in place like such. And once we're there, we can use these hash marks on the top edge of our torque wrench. So as we look at our torque wrench scale and our hash marks down here, our torque value is going to be associated with the center line of the scale and this hash mark. So this is 0 referring to, in this case, 5 Newton meters. So if we want to go 1 Newton meter more to 6 Newton meters, we are going to need to make a full revolution through our scale here. So in order to do that, we're going to pull our collar down, we're going to unlock our handle, and that's going to allow us to rotate. So again, you can see these numbers increasing as we come around, and we'll line back up with 0. As you can see, we're not quite centered up with our 0 mark, so we'll give it a little bit of rotation and watch for that slider to click. So once we've established that position, the 0 centered up with the center line of the scale, we know we've increased 1 full Newton meter from 5 to 6 Newton meters. Let's take a look at our shock pump. So a simple tool, this is geared around adjusting the sag on the fork for your Tazer MX Expert and Pro. So when we look at this, obviously we're going to have our air hose, our Schrader valve connection that'll hook with the Schrader valve on the fork itself. And as we spin this around, we'll see a small red button here. This is your bleed valve. So if you're trying to reduce the air pressure in the fork that you're working on, we'll go ahead and depress this button. It's a continuous flow, so as long as you press it, it'll release air. We're going to have a T25 L Wrench. So essentially, this is going to be for your brake adjustment on your Pro, and then some various other hardware on the bike. And then we have our 456 that is essentially geared towards initial assembly and just general maintenance. It's a great tool to keep in your toolbox. So with the tools that we include with a Tazer MX Expert or Tazer MX Pro, it really gives you everything you need to get your ride set up, dialed in, and taken care of for the long haul. Thanks for choosing Intense.